Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this live presentation of our customer community platform. I'm super excited to be here. My name is Sebastian. I'm founder at MeltingSpot, and we are a community platform designed to help companies, and specifically SaaS companies, grow and engage customer communities to improve onboarding, activation, and retention throughout the customer journey. So we'll be spending about 25 minutes together. The idea is that we are live today, so feel free to ask any questions you might have. That's the whole point of tuning in and being live. So feel free to jump in, ask any questions you have, whichever platform you're using to connect today with me. So be it on LinkedIn or on MeltingSpot. There's a few MeltingSpot communities streaming this live presentation. So just pop your question in the chat, and I'll be checking the chat regularly, so I'm able to answer all your questions. All right, hope you're all ready and popped up. So let's get cracking. The idea is that I'll be walking you through our platform and specifically focusing on the four pillars of what we call an engaged community at MeltingSpot. Live events, and I'll be showcasing exactly how it works and why you should be doing live events with your community of customers. Secondly, the forum, a hot new discussion forum, which allows you to grow, to take conversations and turn them into knowledge. Thirdly, our knowledge base, where you can offer a curation of content to your community. And lastly, last but not least, the member section, where all your community members will be able to engage and connect with each other. So let's get cracking. Feel free to confirm that you can see my screen fine. What I'll be doing is I'll be using our own MeltingSpot Customer Academy to take you through our solution. So I'm just going to check that we're all set in terms of screen sharing, and it's looking good. So let's get cracking. So the whole point is that you bring together, with MeltingSpot, you can bring together your people, your content, your live events, your discussions in one single spot. And that's how we drive engagement within your customer base. Stop moving your customers from one platform to the other. Bring every touch point in one single spot, which we call a spot on MeltingSpot. And it's articulated around this very five tab menu here at the top. The experience for your members is exactly the same as the admin experience, except for these two buttons here. This one is designed to help you customize your homepage, so you can give a compelling presentation of your community, explain what your customers will be able to find, how they will engage. You might want to add content from other platforms, such as a Vimeo video like that one. You can also add content from other platforms such as YouTube, social. If there's a Notion page you'd like to use, you can also paste it there. An Airtable, if you want to offer a table view of some information. Everything can be fully embedded in this homepage. So feel free to use this functionality. And once you're done with your homepage, simply hit save. And let's move on to the four main tabs of the platform. Tab 1, all your lives. That's essentially where you can create any sort of live moment using the MeltingSpot platform. The idea is that you create a live in just a few very simple clicks. You give it a name, a description, a format. You can decide to go for a conference format, which is the format we're on today. So rather one-way type of discussion, or you can decide to let anyone share their audio and video, and you go for a workshop format, which is a lot more collaborative. I suggest you use that format if you're not talking to a very wide audience. If there's too many people connecting, you might want to choose the conference mode, such as today, to better organize questions and answers. So that's all included. The idea is that you simply hit the live, and then you can register, add to your calendar, ask questions in the chat, and so on. So people can interact with speakers. With every live that you create, you're able to invite either everyone, your entire community, like this, invite participants and select everyone, or you can select groups of people within your community. Let's say that you have a group of small businesses inside your customer base, or you have a group of large corporates. You may not want to offer the same content to the same customer segment. So group your customers in segments. And once you've created your groups, you can invite specific people to a live and make sure that you offer a personalized experience. Hope that's all clear. I'm just going to double check that there's no specific questions in the chat when it comes to lives, and it's looking like everything is clear. Feel free to, again, jump in. If you have questions watching this live in replay, feel free to ask questions directly in the chat as well. Like even after the show, we'll be checking the chat. We'll be notified with any new chat comments. So a great place to ask questions. Okay, let's move on to the second part, step 2 of our presentation, which is the discussion forum. The idea is that whether you want to offer a place for support, whether you want to offer a place where your customers can help each other out, so provide peer support to other customers, or simply a place where they can ask questions, get answers on the spot. It all comes down to organizing these asynchronous communications appropriately. And we've decided to create 2 kinds of discussion experiences at MeltingSpot. The first one is the channel experience, very similar to your Slack, WhatsApp. You're all very familiar with this format. It's essentially a single channel that you create, perfect for announcements or promotions. You use this channel, and then, sorry, I'm going to sneeze. That's the joy of live presentations. Apologies. You can use this channel for announcements, promotions. You can decide if everyone should be in this channel or if you only want select groups or select members to join. So perfect for like intimate one-to-few discussions. So that's the channel. People can reply in a channel and they can tag other people like hi at Paul. So it's super easy to tag someone so that Paul gets notified and notified in the app as well as by email. So here's for channels. The second kind of discussion that we support at MeltingSpot is the forum. Forums are best suited for more complex discussions that you would want to organize by topics. So essentially, you create a forum, and inside a forum, you can let your members create new topics themselves. So as an admin, I'm going to pick a specific idea or topic I want to start discussions on. Let's say I want to talk tooling with my community of customers, and I'll let my customers start topics or reply to topics. So here, customer of mine is asking which whiteboards do I recommend. I can click on the topic, I can reply and go, I'm actually a big fan of maybe Whimsical, which is another whiteboard solution. Go and paste that. And if there's another, I can see that people have been recommending other solutions. I'm also a big fan of Miro, so I'm going to upvote. I'm going to upvote this answer. I've already said Whimsical here, so I can upvote that as well. I think this is actually a great question. Everyone should be wondering which whiteboard to use. So I'm also going to upvote the question itself, the topic itself. And from there, I'll be able to browse topics starting with the most upvoted topics, which give me a good indication of what's trending, what's on the mind of people like me. So it's a great way to turn what is usually a pretty linear conversation in chat, in Slack, for example, or WhatsApp, to turn it into a real place for knowledge without spending too much time on admin. You just create the forums and let your customers go marry on questions and topics, and then you'll get some really good intel from these discussions. As an admin, I can also close a topic if I think that there's been enough replies to a particular question that was asked, and I can also pin a topic to make sure that it comes first at the top of the topic presentation, so my customers know which topics to read first. I guess that's it for discussions. We love to use this again for all things support, tools, how-tos. These forums are a really good way of letting your customers lead the show, take the driver's seats when it comes to identifying key areas for discussions and how to do things. Let them just run the show, and you won't have to create too much content. It'll be generated by your own community. So very powerful. We love that functionality. Now that I'm done with step 2, I'm just going to confirm that there's no particular question. Okay, Camille is asking about the difference between channels and forum. I'm just going to explain again very, very quickly. Channels is linear, okay, chronological order. You post a question, or you just introduce yourself, for example, in this channel. Hi, I'm Paul. People can say, welcome, Paul. Then Enzo will come next, and you will be losing sight of all other posts. So very linear and chronological. Forums, much better to organize discussions and turn them into knowledge. So channels, perfect for announcements, promotions, that you might want to have a channel around like pitch your own business or perks, offer a perk to people in the community. That's great in channels, or maybe a channel, an events channel where you can announce upcoming events. But forums is much better for support, tooling, ideas, inspirations, because ideas will come in any direction, and you'll be able to organize them thanks to the upvoting solution. I hope that answers your question, Camille. Feel free to just give me a little thumb up to make sure that this question was appropriately answered. And then I'll be moving to the next feature of our platform. Collections. If you want to engage your customers, if you want to onboard them properly, activate them properly, and retain them properly, you need to inform them and you need to educate them. And this can be done to some degree with forums, as we just showed. But at some point, you might want to share more meaty documents, interesting reads, articles, playbooks, how-tos, tutorials. So we've created a place where you can organize all this content and centralize it. And that's the key to engaging and educating your customers. You don't want your customers moving from your product to a help desk, then to a support forum, then to a separate webinar solution. You'll be losing engagements with your content. So make sure everything is centralized in one single spot, which is what we've done with this collection space here. You can create any collection, really. You can decide if a collection should be, let's say, for example, I want to create a toolbox collection where I'm going to showcase tools that I think are interesting for my community. I can decide that this collection should be public or private, reserved to specific segments or groups inside my community. And then I can, within a collection, create a document from the ground up. Let's say I want to create a playbook. I give it a banner, a nice title, and then I can assign a tag to it to make sure people can quickly browse through the right content. And then I can add blogs, text, photos, videos, content from other solution. If I want to create a tutorial, I might want to add a Loom video to explain how my solution works, and so on. This is if I want to create my document myself, and then I just hit publish and I'm done. I can also choose to use existing content For example, an article on a third-party blog, maybe an article from a media, a white paper from one of my partners. As long as this document can be hosted anywhere, I can paste a link by just creating add link, and then I just paste. I can still give it a nice banner to like brand it to my community, but then I can paste a link. I can test the link to make sure it's working fine, and publish my link. So great way to organize your content. One thing to bear in mind, every week by default on a weekly basis, on Monday mornings, there's an automated what's new email, which is sent out to your entire community with any new content that was posted the previous week, which is super handy if you want to make sure that your customers don't lose sight of any new stuff. Be it an event coming up, let's say you're organizing a new feature presentation, for example, which we like to do. I think there's a few new feature presentations coming up shortly. Or a masterclass you're hosting, like that one next week. If you want to make sure that it's notified to your entire community, or at least to all the people that have been invited, it will automatically be included in the what's new automated email that will come out on Monday morning. Again, really handy to automate as much as possible your communication. So typically a what's new message will look like this. Just give me one sec. There we go. So here's a community hosted on MeltingSpot. Here's what's coming next, new documents that you haven't read yet, and messages you might have missed if I haven't read messages on the platform. So great way to make sure your customers keep coming back to your community. I'll check that we don't have any further questions, but I think we're good. That's fine. Next is the member section. This section, as with any other section for that matter, is optional. You can decide to turn it on or off, but it's a great way to make sure your members, and specifically your customers, if you've created a customer community, to make sure your members can interact with each other, find a place where they can reach out to like-minded individuals, like-minded professionals. You might feel a bit shy about this at the very beginning, but believe me, it's great to let your customers mix and mingle. It actually adds a lot of value, and it's a great way to make sure they're not only connected to your brand and your product, but also to your community, which means like higher retention, because if they stop using your product, not only will they miss out on all the great features and the great services that you have to offer, they will also be missing the community because they've been connecting and they feel emotionally connected to other customers of yours. So use this. I think it's a great solution to get that sense of belonging, and let your customers like look each other up. For example, I don't know, I'm looking for a product person because I want to talk product. There's 7 of them in my community, and I feel like dropping a quick message. So you're going to pick someone I know because I don't want to send a random message, but hey, Estelle, quick question. I see you're using MeltingSpot for your community of customers. Have you integrated your road mapping solution to it? Answer is yes, and I can show you how to do this. And so Estelle will then reply, and I'll get an answer to my question without necessarily posting it on the forum. So I can look people up by role. So I can decide to talk to an admin of the community, or I can filter by tags. Like for example, I want to talk to people in tech and product. I want to talk to people in VC. or HR, and I need to kill this, but let's say I want to talk to people in BC. I got a list of people and so on. So great way to connect. Just checking we're good because this is the end of this specific feature presentation. Then I'm going to move to the final step of our presentation, which is the admin panel. This is a very small button at the top right corner of your platform. It's actually super powerful. It's the entry point to all things admin inside your community. And I'll start very quickly with the audience here. I can click on my audience and access my entire community here. What I can do is then create groups from this audience management system. I can browse like information around the registration date. If I've configured UTMs, I can also get information from this. And this here is a particularly interesting property, which is the last activity date. I'm able to filter my audience by activity. Let's say I want to re-engage customers that have been unengaged lately. So I'll go last activity date is before, let's say, 2 weeks ago. I get a list of 2 people. I can just go, okay, I want to message these people. And I can send them a direct message that will be pushed inside the platform on this dedicated channel. And people will be receiving, so I can say, hi, first name. There's just 2 of them. But if there's more of them, it's quite handy to use these variables. I see you haven't come to the community lately. How can I help? Like, is there anything missing? And so on. I can send this message. And people will be receiving this in their inbox here and notified in 15 minutes if they haven't read the message by email. So a great way to filter and engage your community. Obviously, our platform comes with the usual bells and whistles, like you can change all your email notifications, make sure you paint them to your colors, change the banners, the text, the buttons, everything. So all these emails can be customized, and so you can use this to like automate your communication. We also have an integration module which lets you create webhooks to then connect MeltingSpot to any application of yours. So your entire customer success tool stack can be connected with MeltingSpot. Let's say you want to make sure that every customer of yours that signs up to your community is notified in Slack. You can connect MeltingSpot with Slack and make sure you get a Slack notification. Let's say you want to send all the information from this audience management tool here to your CRM. You can create a webhook, use the community join date as a trigger, and send this to your CRM, and so on and so forth. So fully integrated to your marketing and customer success stack. And lastly, I wanted to show you how to use our dashboard. We probably have the most advanced analytics capability on the market when it comes to customer communities, simply because we know that you need to be able to prove the value of community. And this comes with numbers around active customers in my community, retention rates in the community versus customers that haven't signed up to the community. Could be metrics around engaged customers, like make sure you track your last activity date across your portfolio of customers. So the idea is that you can use this dashboarding capability here to first get an overview here of your community. As you can see, like it's been growing steadily since the beginning of the year, which is a good sign. You get an indication of how many messages have been exchanged. You can see if these messages have been posted in channels or around lives or in private. As you can see, like a lot of private messages are being exchanged on this particular community, which is a very good sign. We usually use this as a proxy of the the health of your community. You can also track reactions, but there's more. If you want to be able to dive at the activity level, you can hit the activity tab here and filter by activity. Say I want to filter by people who attended one of my labs. I can see like there's been like a few activities lately, and I know exactly who joined and who attended. I can click on one particular member in my community and go, okay, how active has Adam been? And I can see that Adam's been like connecting regularly in the platform, which is a good sign. And I can download all this information in an Excel spreadsheet, which is always handy. Hi to Adam, by the way. Thanks for letting me use your name in this presentation. And then lastly, wanted to still in dashboards, show you how you can track success of your various lives. Whatever solution you use, whether you use a streaming solution and a stream to YouTube, or if you use our in-house studio, which like 99% of our customers use, you are able to track how effective your lives have been. How many, what's the attendance rate, how many people stayed on average in like the watch time, the replay viewers and everything, which is a really good way of tracking success of your various live moments, which lets you adjust your content strategy going forward. I think that's pretty much it. So what I'll do is it's 6:30. Nico asked a question, but looks like yes, you can definitely send a message to multiple members at once. I think you got your answer, which is good. Sorry, Nico was asking a question around if you were able to send messages like in bulk, which you can definitely do. So you can use MeltingSpot as a dedicated communication channel with your customers, which is always handy. That's the end of this presentation. We're right on time, which is good. If there's any follow-up questions, if you want to reach out and talk to a salesperson at MeltingSpot to understand if we're a good fit for your project and for your customer base, simply like ping us in the chat of this presentation, or directly book a meeting. We'll be pushing a meeting link so you can book a meeting with us right away, so we can discuss your project. So thank you very, very much for your attention. It was a pleasure flying with you today, and I'll be seeing you shortly on one of our upcoming lives. Speak to you soon. Enjoy the rest of your day wherever you are. Stay safe. Bye-bye.